Pikachu was at 10 health. My sweat-coated hands reach for the coin. Heads I win, tails I lose. The coin flung through the air, my eyes darting after it, hoping to nudge it in the right direction. It landed. I leapt off my beanbag and followed the path of the now sitting coin. My hopeful smile broke down into a sorrowful frown. Good game, I said, as I extended my hand towards my brother. He brushed it away. Not so fast, he replied. Geodude, self-destruct. Geodude, no, don't do it, please, that's suicide. I begged for the creature to spare his life. I may have been young, but I knew what my brother was pulling. We were both on our final Pokemon, so self-destruct would mean a tie. So while my brother would be on the top of the pedestal, feeling morally satisfied, knowing that he lived out my father's policy of letting the youngest child win, I would still be there at the bottom. Even the Pokemon were above me. After today, they would be revived and live happily ever after without a doubt in their mind. But I would know that the game was handed to me unjustly. I could hear my brother's words faintly in the background. Wow, you've really grown as a Pokemon trainer, he said. He continued to speak, but I cut him out. I don't want your pity games. It wasn't just Pokemon, and it wasn't just my brother. As the youngest child, this was my everyday. How could I get any better if they would never let me lose? Fast forward to when I was 12. Fast forward to when I was 12. I was wrapped in a blanket ball, my bedroom door was shut, and so was my mind. My thoughts were irrational and monotonous. Loser, loser, loser. It repeated in my head again and again. From downstairs, I could hear the call from my baby brother, eager to meet me after a long day of preschool. Not even that would save me from the pain and anguish that came with the election day results. It was 7th grade, and I just lost the student council election. Kicking off those blankets was perhaps the hardest thing I had done at that point in my life. And this for a couple of reasons. I was sheltered, I was naive, but most of all, I was afraid of looking like a loser. I was afraid that I wouldn't meet the goals that I set for myself. And this is because 7th grade me didn't know the facts and logic behind the situation. That the pain of losing is 2 times more powerful than the joy that comes with victory. At Harvard, the MBA professor did an experiment. He auctioned off a $20 bill to his class. The rules were simple. Bids could be increased in a minimum increment of $1. Additionally, the runner-up would still have to pay their bid and get nothing in return. The experiment went the same every time. The professor always walked away with a profit. However, in one situation, the goal of winning became so grand that a student was willing to pay $202 over losing in front of his classmates. The same philosophy is applied far out of college. As a matter of fact, 90% of business startups fail. The common error, a lack of experience. Experience, whether good or bad, is always going to help us grow. So one could say that it's even necessary for success. It was the start of freshman year. There's the end of freshman year. Students poured out of the auditorium and into the hallway. Trilling the crowd was me and a friend of mine. Bro, your speech had me dead, he laughed. I smiled. I thought back to 2 weeks prior, when I was debating whether or not I should even run in the first place. While inside it was a no-brainer, I really felt that the reminiscence of the previous 3 years worked both as my greatest demotivators and what inspired me most. I learned a lot since then. The days following my speech went by in a flash. I don't remember everything, just the small stuff. What outweighs all other memories, though, was the car ride back from school. I remember walking up to the car, seeing my mom biting her lip in the mirror, anxious to hear the results, preparing for her annual, "You tried your best" speech. Not this year. Without anything else to do, I sprinted over to the car, flung open the door, and threw myself inside. "I did it," I said. The car took on a whole new atmosphere. My family was dancing around, playing Punjabi MC on the speakers. They were so proud of me. All these years, I was focused on winning the election, getting the position. But what I didn't realize was that there's so much more to gain. Through my 3 losses, I learned what it meant to have to try and try again. And that's something that's going to continue with me for the rest of my life. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that next time, before you throw the Pokemon game, before you let yourself drown in your losses, ask yourself what it means to be a loser. Let's separate the word from all its negativity and redefine it. It's only bad if we say it's bad. What people don't understand is that the many seemingly long-term effects of losing have a mystery. Oh my goodness. The many seemingly long-term effects of losing have a magic that victory could never bring out. Thank you.